indicate so that
Namaskaram.
This meeting is being recorded.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, a very happy morning to each one of you. My name is Harish Reddy. I'm your sergeant today. Welcome to the first meeting of 2022. First Hyderabad Toastmasters meeting of 2022, which is the 365th meeting of our club. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Before we start the meeting, there are few ground rules we need to follow. Do not talk about sex, religion, and politics. Please put yourself on mute when the speaker is speaking. Avoid shouting in Zoom chat when the speaker is giving a speech. This will distract the speaker. When speaker is delivering a speech, then try to keep your camera on. We would like to see your expressions while giving the speeches. I request all guests to register yourself with the link given in the chat window. And first 3 guests will be interacted first during the break session in the interaction. And also they will receive a Toastmaster International e-magazine. What can you learn from this meeting? Can be reflected in the club's mission statement. Let me read it out for you. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, to take the meeting forward, I am going to call a very passionate Toastmaster. She is a Hyderabadi by her heart and Calcutta by mind. She is the president of Hyderabad Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Jashosri, to take this meeting forward as the presiding officer for today's meeting. Please welcome Toastmaster Jashosri.
Very good morning to everyone. Thank you, Harish, for that wonderful introduction. I always feel so privileged to be both in Hyderabad and in Kolkata when you introduce me that way. So thank you, everyone. And yes, welcome to HTM's or Hyderabad Toastmasters 365 meeting. A very good morning once again. It's a cool morning, I believe, in Hyderabad because I'm not in Hyderabad right now. I'm in Kolkata. The temperature is quite good over here. It's a picnic mood, but I don't know how many of us are going for a picnic nowadays because the other picnic is taking a ride on us. So here are 2-3 things I just wanted to share with you. With the rise in the cases, again, many of us are falling sick. Some of us have taken up roles and were not able to deliver it, deliver to the commitment because of they were not well. So kindly excuse all of us for that. And also on the second thought, do take care of yourself and your family members. Please step out of your house whenever it's necessary. In one short word, let me tell you, I would like to wish all of you a very happy and a healthy new year. This year, let's spread good health and hope and not the virus. And with this, let me take the opportunity to introduce one of our guests today. Today is a regular meeting of HTM, but in our regular meeting, we have a bit of entertainment, bit of learning, and bit of education to get from a very special person. She has joined all the way from US, from Ohio, Cleveland, and over there it's quite late, but she is here to give us all the knowledge she has. So thank you for that. Let me give her an introduction, which I got it from her bio only. I have taken it 2-3 words, which I found it very attractive. So she says, an incurable optimist and one who reveals in all things Toastmasters and believes in unlimited potential to alter our perception of ourselves and the ever-evolving world. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sravanthi, for sharing such a good thought. Welcome to Hyderabad Toastmasters meeting number 365. And today, Sravanthi will start or give us an education session on mentoring. Many of us are not mentors. Many of us are mentors. We want to mentor someone. Let's see how well we can grab. So welcome, Sravanthi. The stage is all yours.
Fantastic. President Yashasri, my dear friends, it is, all right, thank you. It is a few degrees below zero where I am, but this is a warm club. And from what I know from your DCP, you're one of the largest clubs in District 98. And guess what? The best part is that you are in my hometown. I'm also from Hyderabad. I've been away from it for almost 27 and a half years now, but this is such an honor to be here, and especially to talk about mentoring. This is a subject that is very near and dear to my heart because I am a mentee for life, and I did not always think about mentorship that way or myself being a mentee. But guess what? That is truly the crux of why we exist. It is hard to think about mentorship in terms of being a mentor when you are yourself trying to achieve and prove your personal excellence. So in preparing for tonight, just because I wanted to break the ice with something funny, I hope it is funny, I did what every perfect Toastmaster or everyone who wants to learn something new does. And what do? They go to Google and they say mentoring. Guess what? In less than half a second, I got about 370 million responses. And I do this every single time I get up there to speak. And you might wonder why. Why does she want to go to Google? You might say she might want to go to Google so she can prepare for our session. You might also think, maybe there is something that she hasn't learned this past presentation that she might want to learn new and bring it to the stage. Maybe. But most of all, I go to Google simply because in every time I have come to speak or I've heard someone speak, I am looking for something that Google does not give me. Are you one of those? Are you one who goes to Google and says, I can Google everything about mentoring, but I wonder what Sravanthi is going to tell me today that I don't already know or I cannot get from Google? Are you with me there? So my friends, I am sorry to break the news to you that I'm not really going to give you anything new, but I promise you this. I'm not as gifted, but I will make you think differently, feel differently about mentoring, and do something really different at the end of this morning. As you head into your lunch hour, I promise you that you won't be the same person. With that being said, I want to ask you something. When you think of mentoring, what three words come to mind? What three words come to mind? And please light up the chat window because that's what's going to make this enormously entertaining for all of us. And as I was telling Yashasri and Lokesh when I spoke to them, I don't make speeches, I speak. So please help me. Light up the chat window and give me three words for what you think mentoring is all about. All right, Pooja, thank you for getting us started. All right. Empathy, empowerment, awakening, friend, guide, listener. Okay. Okay. Feedback, transforming, coaching, supporting, mending, benefiting. Okay. Knowledge sharing, uplifting, results, bonding, trust, reciprocation, giving the right directions. Okay. Excellent. And I love a couple of quotes that came through to my mind as I wanted to start today. One of it is, if I recall it correctly, our chief want in life is somebody who can make us who we can be, right? I think that's how it reads. Our chief want in life is someone who will make us do what we can. This was by Ralph Waldo Emerson. We are all craving those mentors in our lives. But how many of us truly commit to mentoring someone else or truly commit to continuous improvement when we seek those mentors out? When I spoke with Yashasri, she said, Our club, as you know, is a large club, and we have some tenured Toastmasters. So some of you who probably have been with the club or been around, I would say, you don't even have to be a Toastmaster to be a mentor, right? Within a club, you don't have to have been a Toastmaster a long time to be a mentor for someone. And I say this in all sincerity because a mentor brings wisdom, a mentor brings experience, a mentor wears listening ears, they have a kind heart, and they have the willingness to give. That truly is a requirement of a mentor. And for those of us who are a little hesitant to go into this mentorship, whether as a mentor or as a mentee, I say there are plenty of checklists out there for what we can do, right? First and foremost, I say, what would be, and thank you for helping me out here, right? You're thinking of a mentor as a guru, as someone that gives direction. A guru does not have to know everything, but a guru has to be willing to listen, to feel, and to guide. Is that right? If you are thinking along the lines that I am thinking, I want to ask you again, then why are we talking about this? What do you want to get out of this? And this will be my last question before we go into Q&A. So what do you want to get out of today's session? Please help me. I do have PowerPoints, but I know how many of us like PowerPoints, and I'm not going to rely on them unless we have to. So I will make this a conversation. What do you want to get out of today's session? And I'll try my very best to answer those questions as I present and also allow myself to spare some time at the end. Okay. What do you want to get out of today's session? Now, if you're already Googling, then I can offer nothing. If you're not Googling, I want to hear from you. I want your lived experience. Let me introduce you if you're having trouble telling me exactly what you came looking for, right? Theory, anyone can give us theory. And that's why I started off with Google. You can get plenty of theory. There are billions of words out there that will talk about mentoring, right? What I really want to understand is your lived experience. When we say lived experience, we have had experiences where we have seen someone being mentored and we wish we were that kind of mentee that received that mentoring. Or sometimes we embarked into this mentoring activity, but we were not as successful. So those are the kinds of lived experiences that I'm talking about, or I want to hear about. How does a mentor stay motivated? Absolutely. Okay, now we have answers. To be far more effective, I love the word effective, practical, and an involved mentor. Want to understand how to become a mentor or start mentorship. What is the essence of a mentoring relationship? How to be a good mentor. Great start, and thank you. I applaud you for sharing. And I've already used the word empathy a few times, feeling. That is truly where I want to start. Because unless you feel the need to have someone to guide you, or you feel the need to give back to someone, there is no relationship. I want us to understand that. At the very foundation, there needs to be a desire. So whether you are a mentor or a mentee, there is a desire to give and to receive. And not just one person giving and not just one person receiving. At some point, unbeknownst to us, this relationship actually becomes mutually correlated. That means the mentor, we forget almost, we can't differentiate if the mentor is giving or the mentee is giving, because it becomes that cycle. It becomes so mutual anymore. So I think that is what is so nuanced about this subject. Toastmasters actually has a very nice formula for us. It has a whole mentoring program. And I want to ask how many of you have either studied, gone through, or gained any knowledge about the mentoring program? Just show of hands. How many of you perhaps have known about the mentoring program, have embarked on it, right? For those of us who are a little scared, I will speak to the mentors first, right? If you are looking to be a mentor, there is an actual guided program in Toastmasters. It has everything that you need as a mentor. It talks to how you can start thinking about mentorship, how you can go through assessing yourself and your readiness, right? And how you can start working with your mentee. So if you are a mentor, and if you have that empathetic heart, I also want to take you to the practical side of mentorship. If you are a mentor, you yourself, my friend, you yourself must have an idea of where your strengths and opportunities are. You yourself must be thinking about how comfortable you are working with someone else. You must have a plan to make sure that you're able to set expectations and have those conversations with your mentee. Because I will tell you, you will feel the pressure. The mentee wants you to know everything, perhaps, but then that's where the openness in the relationship comes. If you are honest, if you're sincere, if you know how to set goals, and if you're not shying away from the uncomfortable conversations sometimes that have to happen, then you may be a good mentor who is ready to give back and accept a mentee. Now, am I saying it's easy? No. Am I saying it is doable? Absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing, and when I did this, and I think I was speaking to Lokesh the other day when we were preparing, I said I did a mentoring session almost at the beginning of the pandemic for the G1 mentoring. There was a whole G1 mentoring activity, and I did this. And before I went into that activity, I honestly said, have all of your folks pour in as to what isn't working with mentorship right now. And I have that PowerPoint open. I won't expose people, but I was stunned to hear what people had to say. And that's where the real honesty comes, my friends. People said that mentors were arrogant. They did not have time. They were not available. They did not treat their mentees with respect. They did not want to make themselves available for those difficult conversations. They did not empathize, that kind heart. They were not action or results oriented. They did not have much to offer in terms of good advice, good, honest, comprehensive advice. These are the things that mentorship holds. If you are going to be a good mentor, I say be honest, be open to learning, be open to feedback. It's not all about us giving feedback to the mentees. It is about us being open to receiving feedback because we are not perfect ourselves. While I am mentoring 20 plus people, believe me, I have a ton of mentors myself. That kind of honesty is what we need. And mentoring is not about being in a physical location, being on the same page, having the same strengths and the same opportunities. Mentoring is about being honest humans, humans who can open our minds up to learning and to giving, because it's all a shared experience. Does that make sense? Is this helpful at all? So if you are a mentor, think about it that way. And the Toastmasters mentoring program, by the way, elucidates all of this in great detail. If you are a mentee, which everyone should be, by the way, that's the big secret here. Each one of us should be a mentee. If we are not ready to be a mentor, being a mentee is our first step. If you have never been a mentee, and I will repeat this, if you have never been a mentee, you cannot be a good mentor. Because it's all about the mindset. If you were not open to continuous learning, if you were not open to receiving feedback, if you were not open to being that person who is wanting to learn, who wants to be out there seeking advice, seeking from the guru, how can you expect to give? Because you wouldn't understand the relationship. You wouldn't understand that mindset. You wouldn't understand the difficulty or the challenge and the lived experience. Remember, I said lived experience, because it is so nuanced. It's not cut and dry. I want to eat this for lunch. I want to eat this. If you like that, come to the table. Otherwise, go away. It doesn't work like that. It is so nuanced. So please, now that we've talked about the mentors and now we are moving on to the mentee side of it, if you have any trouble thinking about being a mentor, first and foremost, take a step, be a mentee. That is your surefire ticket to being an awesome mentor that you can be. If you are hesitant to being a mentee, there is guidance in the Toastmasters mentor program for that too, right? So because it is a mutual relationship, there are tons of checklists. If you love checklists, if you're that kind of person, even if you're not, I think a structured program does help. I've touched on a few nuances here, and I do want to say that this is something that we can all take away from. Now, to answer some of your questions here, and I want to touch on these, how does a mentor stay motivated? And how do you think a mentor stays motivated? First and foremost, I talked about desire. We have to have the desire. And it is that desire that galvanizes what we want to give to those who are around us. It galvanizes that spirit. And I'm seeing the word of the day for some reason on the screen. And I want to say, this is what fires us up to give. If I may share my screen, I would like to share my screen now. Is that okay?
Yeah, Sravanthi,
Yes.
your screen. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Give me 1 second. And please let me know when you see it. Yes?
Visible now.
Yes,
Awesome.
it is visible.
Awesome. And I put this couple of slides together. I know it's death by PowerPoint, and I don't believe in putting PowerPoint presentations together just because we can. And I've tried to summarize the Toastmasters mentor program in a couple of slides here. So I want to share with you. Mentoring is a time-honored method of helping someone achieve their goals. This is the simplest definition of mentoring. And it is one of the most generous and rewarding ways a person can contribute to an individual and to an organization. And why did I give that introduction before I came to the definition? Sometimes we look at definitions and we say, this is what it is. But I wanted us to have an open mind going into this and then come to the definition. I work a little backwards that way. I want us to start thinking about why we do this. Because when we go to time-honored definitions of something, we almost limit ourselves. It's like wearing a blinder and say, this is what it's supposed to be. And I don't want us to think like that. I want us to think about our experiences and be able to, and be bold and courageous enough to define our own definitions, to come up with our own definitions. And I always remind myself with this, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. I always say this is something I enjoy, even the most difficult conversations. And as I've alluded to, we will have a ton of difficult conversations in a mentor-mentee relationship. Okay. The Pathways Mentor Program, this is the one that I was alluding to. I'm quickly going to walk you through this just in case some of you are not familiar with what Pathways Toastmasters has to offer. So the mentor program, the very first step here, introduces you to the program itself, the importance of mentoring. Then it walks you through how you can prepare to be a mentor. There is a self-assessment checklist here. There is a ton of material here to help you understand what it is. How can you set your own goals? How can you set the right expectations? How do you help the mentee, and what is in it for you and what is in it for the mentee? And then get into the act of mentoring itself. And here, when you get into the mentoring itself, there is a lot of material for the mentee. There is a self-assessment checklist, there is a feedback checklist, and when you get into advanced mentoring, you actually start and finish mentoring. So for those of you who are considering to be mentors, please don't be afraid. It is not, even if it is rocket science, you and I can conquer that. Please go ahead and go through this program, work with someone. And this is where I wanted to bring this full circle. Is let's say you're a tenured club. Let's say there are, I'm looking at our general evaluator, Ajit, my friend, if I may use your name. And then there is Toastmaster Rahul. Let's say both of you have been with the club for 12 years. I don't know, I'm just taking a guess here. Let's say both of you feel like you know what it takes to be a DTM, you know what it takes to be a great member of the club. Guess what? Sometimes we are hesitant, we are not very honest. And I'm not picking on you, I'm just using you as an example. We might say, I don't think I need a mentor. I'm telling you, we all need mentors. So maybe you may not like the mentor definition. Maybe you can say, we can be each other's accountability partners. Life, right? You could be accountability partners. I had a mentee who first chose me, and she's the one who gave me the motivation. She was 82 years old. That was my very first time being in Toastmasters 8.5 years ago. And she said, Sravanthi, I want to feel young again. I'm going to choose you as my mentor. I'm like, Barb, what can I give you? She said, no, you'll make me feel young. We'll work through it. Right? This was fantastic. So when you want to stay motivated, one of you asked, how does a mentor stay motivated? I say, get the joy out of it. Say it's okay to be challenged. Say it's okay to be uncomfortable. That's really why we are in this business of Toastmasters, to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's okay. And I wanted to whittle this down for you so you know that this is not some huge monumental task that you're taking on. And I know life gets in the way, and I'm going to address some of those practical concerns as well. When you lead by example, when you make time, when you truly have the desire to give, this can be a light lift on you. When you're sincere and open to feedback, it is just like anything else. Please don't feel the burden as a mentor to know everything. It is not to know everything. It is to be willing to know everything. It is to be willing to learn. That truly is what this is all about. All right. So here is where I have tried to summarize, and please read it bottom up. Bottom up. The 4 big panels across the bottom apply to both the mentor and the mentee. First and foremost, the desire to be in that relationship. The desire to be a mentor or a mentee, right? हाँ, मुझे ये करना है. I want to do this. నేను ఇది చెయ్యాలనుకుంటున్నాను. Let's get on it, right? Whatever it is that you are thinking about it, let's have the desire first. That we are going to get joy out of it, that we are going to get mutual benefit out of it, that we both have some value to take away from it. That's where the desire comes. Self-awareness. If you're not self-aware as a mentor or a mentee, that relationship is not going to reach its potential. Just like any other relationship in the family, at work, in the community, just like any other relationship. It is not going to consummate into its potential if we are not self-aware. And self-awareness takes some reflection, takes some real hard sincerity and real hard looking into ourselves. So please be self-aware of who you are, what you bring to the table, how willing are you to be in this relationship. Readiness is a more practical checklist. And I love the checklist that Toastmasters has provided us. Are you ready? Readiness can come in many forms. Are you ready with time? Are you ready with energy? Are you ready with desire? Are you ready with self-awareness, right? All of this contributes to your readiness. Mutual respect and understanding. I want us to think about this. When we think we are on a higher ground as mentors, or when a mentee thinks that she or he is on a lower ground, it jeopardizes that relationship. I want us to think about this differently. Mutual respect. Like I said, Barb was 82 years old 8 years ago. I still keep in touch with her. She chose me to be her mentor. I was 10 years younger, right? Or 9 years younger. I was 41 or 42. That mutual respect still was there, and it still is there. I am a better person for her having chosen me. And today I'm mentoring 20-year-olds, 55-year-olds, and everyone in between. And I'm myself getting mentored by 80-year-olds as well as 25-year-olds. So you see how beautiful this is? I want us to think about it that way. And the one in the blue block is what Toastmasters lists out, and rightly so. listening comes first. We have to be practical about setting expectations. We have to be willing to fulfill commitments. We have to recognize one another's needs. And we must value differences. And I want to spend all of 30 seconds on valuing differences. No two people in this world are the same. We will all think differently, feel differently, and consequently act differently. So we must value. There is no right or wrong way to do this. The relationship is and all enduring. So please value the differences. We're all different people. We each bring something really critical to the table. So let's give that value to each other. Showing appreciation, staying flexible. If COVID has taught us anything at all, it is to stay flexible. If you can't meet, that's okay. A phone call will do. An email will do. A WhatsApp message will do. Please don't feel compelled to meet on Wednesday at 4:15. If you can't meet me, man, you don't respect me. I don't have time for you. It doesn't work that way. Life gets in our way. And these past 2 years have been difficult. As our president, Yashashree, just said, life has taken a toll on all of us. So be flexible, be kind, feel empowered, empowered to make decisions, empowered to share decisions, empowered to show value. And then I've listed a few nuances that Toastmasters talks about in terms of a mentor and a mentee relationship. And I put a little, lack of creative juices in me. I put little brackets in there because it is a give and take. They are not separate. They are give and take. And one thing on the left for the mentor I want to highlight is judgment versus feedback. We really want to, right here, I really want to touch on this, judgment versus feedback. It's not my call as a mentor to judge. It's my calling as a mentor to give feedback. I will repeat that. It's not my call to judge. It is my calling to give feedback. So please, that is where we ruffle feathers, we create friction in the relationship. Mentees are eager. They want to learn. Respect them. And if you are a mentee, be eager. Please want to learn. Show that you are eager. Show that you're engaged. Show that you are smart with your goal setting. Show that you're open to feedback. And I just left those blanks. It's up to your imagination. Stay hungry. And perhaps consider mentoring someone else while you are in this relationship. That may be a challenge. I put a question mark for the mentee there. What's better than challenging yourself to give back, to co-create that success for someone else? Okay, this is the crux of the mentoring program. This is the crux of where we go. And I want to leave you with this, and I will share this deck with Lokesh and Yashashree, if you wish. This is something that I came up and I use it in all of my leadership learning. And I will leave this on the screen as I answer questions for you, because this is at the heart of what we do. Having that desire and knowledge as bookends and having empathy and clarity in between. If we keep just these notions in mind and work the Toastmasters mentoring program, which gives us practical tools to get through this, I think we can all come away winners, whether we are a mentor or a mentee. At any given point, if you're both, more power to you, my friends. I say do it. Be a mentee and a mentor all at the same time, right? I call everyone my mentor, by the way. Anything I can learn from anyone, I give them credit publicly, and I say, Toastmaster Green, you're my mentor. Sangeeta, you're also my mentor. Barb, you're also my mentee and a mentor. Because there is so much to learn. Although this is a formal relationship according to the Toastmasters program, we can informally learn and mentor with so many people. Have that mindset. It is all about the attitude. Okay. I will stop sharing, and some people have asked me how I might be able to do a lot of things when burnout is real. Burnout is real, and I'm not going to make any mistake, or I'm not going to skirt around the fact that there is burnout when we are in leadership positions, when we seek to be a mentor or a mentee. So I have some tools that I would like to share at the very end if I have time, or I will actually, I'm a very lean person. So for those of us who are in lean management, understand what lean means. Keeping productivity high, not wasting time and energy on things that do not add value, and focusing on the person, the customer, and the thing of value. So I actually have a couple of slides, and I do use the Eisenhower matrix too, for those of you who are interested. I will share those tools in a PowerPoint presentation that I have, and I do see a couple of hands up. Take questions, and I think we have a few minutes for questions right now. And if I haven't answered through what I have quickly glanced, and if I haven't answered in my presentation any of your questions, please post it again so I know that I have to address it. And I do see a hand up.
Yeah,
Toastmaster Padma Kumar.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
All right. Thank you very much. Such a brilliant session, Sravanthi. I really loved it.
Thank you.
That you really delivered on your promise that you will give us something very different from the standard stuff that we get to see on Google. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
My question to you is, I fully agree with you that it's great to be in a position where you mentor some people and you are, also having a number of mentors who provide you the. So when you have great mentors who provide you fantastic inputs, how do we really discern whether the same inputs would be applicable or not to our mentees? Because there is generally a tendency, a subconscious tendency to feel that if it works for me, it would work for the mentee as well. So how do we really resist the temptation to not prescribe or suggest things that may work for us very well, may have resulted in tremendous growth for us, but it's not necessarily right for the mentee?
Absolutely, DTM Padma Kumar. Excellent perspective on that. And thank you for challenging me on this. And I do believe that asking a mentee what works for him or her while sharing your experience is the right way to approach this. And I say that because, let's say I have a mentor, and he says, how can I help you, Toastmaster Vallampati? And I say, I have this, and this, Toastmaster, and I'm really challenged. He says, okay, before I tell you what I did in the past to solve this issue, or before I give you an advice, have you thought about how you would like to approach it? And this is something that I have learned, is to ask how and nudge them in the direction that they are most comfortable with, while alerting them to the caveats probably, or the challenges that they might encounter. Because what works for me may not work for them. And this is where I also go back to, I might have a strength, right? I work from a place of empathy. I show compassion and kindness. Whereas I might be mentoring someone who is only results oriented, who may be approaching a project, let's say, by go, right? Maybe he is in a leadership position that I'm mentoring. So I do have leaders like that who are all about results. And sometimes the feedback that I receive about my mentee is that they really don't care about the people. They just care about results, right? If I have to add 4 members, I don't care how you bring 4 members to bring us to President's Distinguished, go ahead and do it, right? I, as a person, as a mentor, I approach everything from empathy perspective. Whereas I am now mentoring someone who is more results oriented, who is a red on the disc profile, right? And I am a yellow and an eye on the disc profile. So I would say, here is how I have approached it in the past. Have you thought about how you might be affecting your club officers, your club leaders, or your club mentors? I would encourage you to think about it. What worked for me may not work for you, but as a mentor, it is my responsibility to alert or to raise awareness about a certain thing. And definitely the platinum rule, what works for me does not work for you. And that's why I said this is a nuanced business. Mentoring is a very, very nuanced activity. right? So if we have a checklist and say ABC works in DCD situations, it's not going to meld. So I would say we keep our ears open, we keep our eyes peeled, and we keep our hearts and our minds in the right place to offer advice while giving the mentee the flexibility to think independently. Because unless we give the mentee the flexibility to think and act independently with awareness, we are really not helping them grow. Telling them what to do is not selling inspiration. Telling a mentee what to do is mentorship. I answered your question, DTM Padma Kumar.
Yes, you did. And if I may, in one sentence, if I were to summarize, ask a coaching question first before providing a mentoring input.
Absolutely. Ask a coaching question first and nudge them in the right direction, make them aware of the caveats and the challenges that might be there, but not necessarily to tell, because what we are inspiring is a leader who can think on his own or her own.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Sravanthi.
You're welcome, sir.
DTM Sravanthi, Lokesh here.
Go ahead, Lokesh.
So looking into the time, I have one question in short, and I think one of my fellow member Toastmaster Rohil has also asked one question. First, I'll just read his question and then followed by my question together.
Absolutely.
So his Toastmaster Rohil's question is, how do you motivate a mentee to remain eager and hungry? What is mentor's role here? This is the question from Toastmaster Rohil. And in addition to that, my question I want to say in the flow. There are something which I understand from my journey of Toastmaster is that sometimes we become very comfortable with our mentors, and sometimes mentee become comfortable with mentor, and mentor become comfortable with same mentee, because we enjoy a healthy relationship, right? So how do you see this relationship if we stay with the same mentor or a same mentee from a very, very long time, and how should be the duration maybe for one mentor and mentee relation, and why? That's more important, is why. So
Absolutely.
This is my question.
Absolutely. Rohil Menon, right? To be far more effective, practical, I want to understand. Okay. So how do you encourage them to stay hungry? The first and foremost, and I think I touched on it a little bit, and I will say this again, continuous learning. What I knew yesterday, what I knew this past Thursday and Friday has probably, some of it has become redundant already, and there is a new learning that is awaiting me tomorrow. So if we continuously focus on value, and as a mentor, I would say, as a mentor, it is almost your obligation to challenge your mentee to not get too comfortable. Getting comfortable in the relationship is one thing. Getting comfortable with the status quo is another. I want us to be comfortable making that distinction. It is a very courageous distinction. It's a very bold distinction. I want us to be comfortable in the relationship, which is different from being comfortable with status quo. Status quo means we are being stagnant. We are not learning. We are not growing. And as mentors, I think it is also our obligation to give our mentee the freedom to leave us, to leave and go and seek new mentors, because new mentors, new people offer new perspectives and new learning, which is critical to our growth as people. A lot of my mentees stay with me simply because, but I give them every possibility, and I even encourage and nudge them and sometimes push them to go seek other mentors. There is no insecurity in letting your mentee go. If you continue to provide value, you can always think about them as coming back to you. They will come back to you. As far as keeping a mentee hungry, this is one way to encourage them, is to go seek new people, seek new perspectives, because that is what is going to build courage and strengthen them at their core. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, DTM.
And a lot of mentors actually think that if they're letting go of their mentees, they are somehow shortchanging their own value. It couldn't be farther from the truth. Let your mentees go. 6 months is a good period to be in a mentoring relationship. So you can start, you can nurture, and you can see results. After that, I would say, give them the option. In fact, encourage them to go seek a new mentor. If you have a recommendation, if I say DTM Padma Kumar is a great mentor, I think, Lokesh, you should go seek him out, because here is what I have observed in DTM Padma Kumar, right? That would not lessen my value. It would only make me a more reflective, a more self-aware, and a more real person when I push somebody else or nudge someone else to go seek out new mentorship, because new perspectives are what keep us away from getting stagnant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that's really a new thought for me to go and learn from. That's the reason I specifically mentioned why, and you have clarified that why is something, you know, if I know my old mentor can add value, I will definitely go back to him and her.
Right?
Yeah, and I can also learn from the other mentors, gradually. So thank you so very much. Thank you.
We will never become redundant if we continue to add value to people's lives. We should never feel insecure, and that insecurity, it means that we are being insincere to ourselves and to our mentees.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And in order not to disturb the other speakers, if you would like questions answered, please message me, privately, and I will try my very best to answer all of your questions.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sravanthi. Sravanthi, would you like to share your mail ID then with us on the call?
Absolutely.
And then we can share our questions with you. In the meantime, Jay, can you stop sharing the screen? I would like to share something. Yeah, thank you. Is it visible?
Yes, Joshua, it is visible.
Okay. So, are we taking any more questions, Sravanthi, Lokesh? No.
I'm here if anyone would like to ask. I know we are at 12:17, which means that we are
almost
47 minutes into the session. Yeah. So we might have a few more minutes until I hit my mark, but I'm open. I'm absolutely open. I hope this is helpful. And if you would like, I'd like to share the PowerPoint presentation just to quickly give you a glimpse into what I have, the tools that I use, because sometimes when I get the feedback that I don't know how you do it, not everyone's you, I tell them that it is easy. I am not gifted at all. I'm enormously inspired. I have zero gifts. I have no gifts at all. So I will tell you, I'm enormously inspired to do my very best and to give back and to learn. So be that learner. So I will share this if with your permission.
Yes, please. Yes, please do.
Josh, stop your screen share.
Yeah, so while you are sharing with us, we have one guest,
sure.
Murli Manohar, who wants to ask you a question. Please.
Absolutely.
Very good morning, DTM Sravanthi.
Yes, sir.
Before I ask you a question, I would like to give you a note. You don't say that you don't know anything. I'm learning. I know your humility, but the thing is, you should be proud of your achievements. So the best respect a person can get is from himself. And this is what, as a coach, mentor, I would like to give you this suggestion. Now, my question is, what would you do if a mentee is not responding to your suggestions? Would you still keep him as your mentee, or will you tell him openly things don't work between both of us and terminate that and ask him to go and search for someone who can match his views or the way he works? Over to you. Thank you very much. I'm DTM Murli Manohar from Kuwait, but I'm totally a globetrotter. I'm the VP Education for the #1 club in the world, Medley Toastmaster Club in USA. And I'm an area director in both the District 91 and District 20. Thank you, and over to you.
Absolutely. DTM Murli Manohar, thank you, sir, for your insights and for, again, asking me that question. My choice of words would not be that it's not working out between you and me. That is my first response. My choice of words would be that perhaps the perspectives that we share, I may not be able to add value the way that you are perceiving. right? So I would like to suggest, first and foremost, I'd like to understand where I may be faltering in terms of offering support. Because when a mentor and a mentee, and I want to say this because I'm an eternal optimist and I'm always looking at the sunny side up. But that aside, I will tell you that in a negotiation class, one of the things that I learned is there is no such thing as a failed negotiation. There is no such thing as a failed negotiation. Every relationship can work. So I will give it my best shot, right? So as a mentor, I would like to learn what I could have. Now, the outcome may still be that I would send that person away, right? Saying that looks like we are unable to get on the same wavelength, but I would like to understand where I might have faltered or how I could be doing this differently. May not be with this particular mentee, but from my future experience, I would like to say that. But I would say if we are not on the same wavelength, that may be because, number one, we are operating at different levels of strengths and opportunities. Maybe we are not setting the right expectations. Maybe we are not listening to each other. Maybe we are not understanding of what one another's goals may be. So I would say to bring us on to the same page, we can agree to disagree in the relationship, but we would still leave on cordial terms and we would still try to understand what it is that wasn't working out. So to me, it's never an issue, Toastmaster DTM Murli Manohar, about it's not working out. For me, it is a thing that I'm not able to add value simply because I may not be understanding how you are seeking value, because we all value different things and we all add value or attest value differently to different experiences or to different outcomes. So I would like to try to understand, number one, to summarize, I would like to try to understand and still send that person away to someone who I think might even be a better mentor. To me, that again, does not shortchange my own experience or my own credibility as a mentor. I would not take it as a failure. I would take it as we're all different human beings and sometimes things do not work out. Sometimes things do not work out, and that is an okay situation to be, rather than being stagnant in that relationship and having bad blood brew between the two of us.
Thank you so
I hope
Thank
I
you
answered
very
it.
much, DTM Sravanthi. And a point to you and to others, if anybody would love to be my mentee, I would love to be their mentor. And I'm there to learn from you, because as a mentor, you learn from your mentees also. So I'm open. I'm in Hyderabad presently, so I'm there to support, extend my help. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. This has been a true honor for me. Thank you all. And again, I shared my email address as well. Please, and I do have the privilege of mentoring some of our friends here in India in District 98. And if there is one silver lining to this whole COVID business, it is only that I am able to connect with my Toastmasters friends in India. So thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sravanthi. So the new year and the first meeting of a new year has been definitely a big start. And thank you to you. It's so encouraging to hear all these things, and we all are now motivated who have not completed our pathways to go to that mentoring level. We will surely be motivated enough to complete it. So thank you once again, and thanks for being here so late at night. And yes, whatever questions, the questions I think will keep coming. And this is a very small session to take all the questions. So she has shared a mail ID. Please write to her. And I'm sure all of us will be getting valuable insights. Thank you, Sravanthi. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, thank you.
If you will have me, I will hang out until the end of your meeting. I'm a night owl anyway. I'm good.
Thank you so much. Yes, moving ahead with our meeting. Our meeting is a regular meeting, as I said. So we'll start with our usual activities, that is our prepared speech section, the table topic section, and the evaluation section. To take things this ahead, now I would like to introduce the person who introduced me in the beginning. So it is Toastmaster Harish, whom I would like to invite him on the stage because he is the Toastmaster of the day. Harish is a part of the executive committee and he is the sergeant at arms as well. So you all have seen him. And Harish is an CA by profession. He was a speech crafter. Now he's a regular Toastmasters. And I have seen a tremendous change in Harish in terms of his stage presence, in terms of his speech, and in terms of his presentation. So welcome, Toastmaster Harish. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Jeshwasri. Hello, all. Wish you a very happy new year. I think I already wished you in my essay address, right? Fine. I will take it back. It's been a week since the 1st of January. Do you remember who all wished you a happy new year in these past 7 days or 8 days? Anyone remembers? If you ask me the same question, I have seen many messages in WhatsApp groups, personal texts, photos, many statuses on WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, and whatnot, even emails. If I have to take time and start counting, maybe some 200 to 300 people have some way or other wished me a happy new year. But I remember only 2 people among those 300. One is my grandfather, and second is a Toastmaster, ex-Toastmaster from Hyderabad Toastmasters, my previous mentor, Toastmaster Surekha. Can you guess why I remember only those 2 people and forgot about the rest? Anyone can take a guess, please, if you have.
It was not a broadcast message that you got.
Yes,
You got a
somewhere it
call.
is true.
You got a call, not a WhatsApp message.
Yes, absolutely. They have called me in person, spoke to me, which made me feel special. They took their time out of their busy schedule and called me to make me feel special. That is what is my theme today. To build deeper connections in life. We need to give time to people and show that we really care about them. These deeper connections will help you in your personal and professional aspects of life. For that to happen, we need to know the art of being personal. Before we go further into the theme, let me explain about the meeting, how the meeting proceeds today. The first session we have is comprised of prepared speeches, where speakers prepare speech with respect to the objectives as per the pathways and guided by their mentors. The same will be evaluated in the last segment. The second segment comprises of impromptu speaking, commonly known as table topics, where a random topic is given to you on which you have to speak immediately. The third session is evaluation segment, which evaluates the prepared speeches and some points of table topics as well. To take this further, I need help from someone who is a former, not former Toastmaster, sorry, who is the founding member of this club. He is a cost accountant and an ERP evangelist. His latest hobby is doing exotic submarine fishing using high-tech magnets. I tried Googling whether he is tricking me or is there a term really. Somehow I found, so I put it in my script. So put your hand together to invite Toastmaster Ajit. He is the general evaluator for today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish, the Toastmaster of the day. He's already looking at retiring me, the former Toastmaster. Thanks, Harish. I'll remember that. Next time I have to introduce you, I'll remember this day very well. Thank you for your wonderful introduction. And regarding my hobby, if you guys have any questions, please write to me. I'm forming a separate club for submarine fishing, and we'll all do it together. There's one thing great about this hobby that it's a group activity because submarines are normally a little bit larger in size. So coming to the session, my duty of the day as a G of this meeting, the general evaluator, I would be keeping a watch on the activities. And my role, it is essentially my role to show the mirror to all of you as to how the speakers have done their roles, how any speaker who comes here, how they have performed. And for me to hold up the mirror, because a Toastmaster meeting is a large event, a lot of us here. So obviously we need a large mirror, and to hold the mirror together, I have my teammates. My first teammate is the timer of this meeting. Now, to tell you about him, he's a reluctant banker, a habitual reader, and a greedy coin collector, as he says it. I asked him, based on the theme, do you know any Toastmaster so well that you can tell me his or her virtues? He said, Param, my mentor, I mean, no, he loves him for his doer mentality, his confidence, and devil maker attitude. Well, I don't know who the devil is, but let's hear it for the timer, Toastmaster Jai Agarwal. Jai, you're mute. Yeah. Please unmute yourself, share your role.
Okay. Am I audible, visible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ajit, for the kind introduction. So as this is my first role in Toastmaster, I'll be sticking to the basics. As a timer, my role is to keep a watch and help you manage your time for your speeches. I'll be doing this by showing you the green, yellow, and red cards to indicate the minimum and maximum time allotted for your roles. So I'll share the screen. Okay. So let me summarize this. For ice-breaking speech, the time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on either sides. I'll show green card at 4 minutes, yellow card at 5 minutes, and red card at 6 minutes. For prepared speech, it is 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on either sides. And I'll show a green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. On the other hand, the time period for table topics is 1 minute to 2 minutes. However, keep in mind that there is only grace period on the longer side. So you can only be qualified for voting if you speak for at least 1 minute. And similarly for evaluation, it is 2 minutes to 3 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on either sides. So 1 second. So please remember, if you are not sticking to your allotted time, you will not be eligible for voting. I will present my report when called upon to do so by Mr. G. I hope I have galvanized you for your roles today. Over to you, TM Ajit.
Thanks a lot, timer Jai B. Agarwal, because we seem to have collected a lot of Jays, in our club, and I'll come to that very shortly. In fact, I am a fan of anybody who's got the J word in their name, because even I have got it. So we will go on to the next person who's going to hold up the mirror. Now, this gentleman took all of 10 seconds and 11 nanoseconds to agree to be the stand-in word master and comedian for the day. 10 seconds because it took me so long to tell him to do it. 11 seconds for him to say yes. So that's about a time it took for this great guy, the founder of our club, who's back to us, back as our WMG today. Toastmaster Vidya Shankar, need not introduce him. Everybody knows him and loves him. Can we have the word of the day and idiom of the day from Toastmaster Vidya Shankar, our founder? Lovely to have you back, Vidya.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you for your warm words. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My role today is that of a wordmaster and grammarian. As a wordmaster and grammarian, I have twofold responsibility. As a wordmaster, I will introduce a word of the day and an idiom of the day. And I would encourage all people speaking here to use this as often as possible. This is a good attempt to increase your vocabulary and to make English sound better. My other role as a grammarian is to keep track of good usage of the English language and to provide feedback or suggestions for improvements wherever I can. I will also be keeping tabs on usage of filler words like ours, etc. And at the end, when called upon to present my report, I will share whatever I have observed. So before we get ahead, let's look at the word of the day. The word of the day is galvanize, and it essentially means that you do something to cause people to become so excited or concerned about an issue that they want to do something about it. So an example would be the general's speech galvanized his troops to take action and defend the country. We also have the idiom of the day, which is to call it a day. And it means, and it's typically used with work, and it means to stop doing something. So an example of that would be, I'm so tired, I'm going to call it a day. So I encourage all of you to use the idiom of the day and the word of the day, and keep a tab on your grammar. I'll be back. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidya. And that was wonderful. In fact, he wants to do so much for us. He even wants to do the role of the R counter of the day today. So it's all in a day, Vidya. It's been long time, but we do have a R counter for the day today also. Can I request DTM Moneydeep? Now, DTM Moneydeep is a mountaineer, and he does also probably go to work in some company to maintain his bank balance. But then, what is his passion? His passion is to empower others and save lives from road traffic accidents. See, we are having virtual meetings. Money, there's a lot of weight off your shoulders, at least as far as this meeting is concerned. Let's tell everyone what is your role at the meeting today.
Thank you so much, Ajit. What am I going to do now? Actually, I am the R counter for today's meeting. How does this sound? In a typical conversational setting, most often that we tend to use filler words, just the way I have used a while ago. And why do we use it? Because we tend to think before we speak. And if we don't think, that's when we use the filler words. And to avoid those filler words, I'm going to give you 2 tips. We can pause. We can have a micro pause for a few seconds and think what we're going to speak. And number 2, we can chunk the total sentence, or rather big sentence, into multiple sentences. That way, we can get to speak consciously with less filler words and create more impact. And what are the common filler words? So, but, actually, short pause, long pause, and so on. So I'm going to make a report of all the filler words spoken by all the people who comes virtually on stage. And when the general evaluator Ajit calls me at the end of the meeting, I'll present my report. Now, I would like to hand it over back to Ajit, and I'm calling it a day. Over to you, Ajit.
Thank you, Mani. Guys, that was wonderful tips, by the way, that you gave to all of us. Does anybody remember where are these ooh, ah, and ouch come on the TV in an ad? Anybody remember? Please put that in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, anybody want to share?
Moo.
Yeah. Where do you hear this ooh, ah, and ouch in an advertisement? Okay,
Moo
guys.
ointment.
Okay, there's an Iodex ad. Old Iodex ad. Ooh, ah, ouch. Dur bhagaiye. But then, if you remember any more such ads, let me know. We'll collect it and we will give you probably an award for being the best ad watcher. One more person is talking about multiple J's in our club. We have one Jay Ailiani, who's our Zoom master. Zoom master, can you spotlight yourself? Just wave to everybody, galvanize the whole audience, please.
Just a second. Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Jay. Thank you for the introduction, Ajit. I'd be working from the back end today. Like I'd be spotlighting everyone who's coming up on the stage, and I'd be sending you the polls after every speech and the feedback form for the speaker. So I'd be just working from the back end today. So back to you, Ajit. Stage is for you.
Thank you, Jay. We will love to have you in the foreground very soon. We also have some evaluators whom I'll be introducing when they are called on to evaluate at the end of the meeting. So that's my team. I would also be sharing my inputs about what we did right and how we can do better the next time, if at all there are any improvements that I would like to share. My eyes will be open. I'll be watching the meeting. If you guys have any suggestions for me, anything to offer, please let me know in the chat. Back to you, TMOD, to take the meeting forward.
Thank you, General Level Vetter, Toastmaster Ajit. We are starting the first segment of the meeting, which is prepared speeches. Our first speaker today is an entrepreneur who is building and scaling up a fintech startup. He enjoys reading books, is curious about technology, loves practicing yoga and meditation. A lot of similarities, so sometimes we will catch up. According to him, online interactions can never match a personal connection to build deeper relationship with people. He is Toastmaster Murali, who is giving his icebreaker speech. Before inviting Toastmaster Murali, I want to ask his evaluator, Toastmaster Raman, to give the speech objectives and time. Toastmaster Raman, can you explain the...
Toastmaster Murli is going to give the speech on his topic, my journey so far. The project is, he's giving his icebreaker speech first time. It's the project L1P1. So over to you.
Okay, thank you, Aman. So yeah, timer, it will be 4 to 6 minutes as it is an icebreaker speech. So Toastmaster Murali. My journey so far. My journey so far, Toastmaster Murali.
Am I audible and visible? Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Murali, sorry to stop you. Can you check your camera setting once? Your head is not coming full in your camera screen. Yes, now it is okay.
And
A little bit more.
Yeah. And also, Murali, check the timer card.
Yeah, sure.
Can you ping me? Murali?
Or you can share your screen, Jay. That will be easier. As we spoke yesterday, no? He is not sharing any screen, so you share your screen. That is much easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the card. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster, for the warm intro. And special thanks to my mentor, Rajnish, for helping me with the speech. Today, I'm going to talk about how I co-founded a fintech startup that eventually processed more than 250 crores of transactions on my platform. Bear with me for next couple of minutes. I joined Toastmasters to hone my communication skills and leadership skills. I born and brought up in a remote village called Sirsila in Telugu speaking states. I have 4 lovely, caring sisters, and my mom is a homemaker. She is Shanti. My dad is a retired government officer. Since childhood, I have hobbies of reading books, listening to music, and drawing. Like every Indian parents, my parents also encouraged me to dream big, but they gave me freedom to pursue my passion. I learned in a hard way that with freedom comes responsibility. I worked hard and did fairly well in academics and eventually got into one of the top colleges in India, Brilliance of Technology. But I was not sure where I was heading in my life. I was kind of on autopilot mode. I was aiming for everything, including civil services, dreaming big but clueless. As part of my campus placements, I got offer from IBM, one of the most admirable brands, as a software engineer. Initially, I was not excited that much, but I thought I should pursue this offer for 2 reasons. One, to repay my education loan. Second, I thought it will give me some opportunity to explore myself further. The experience with IBM was great. I learned a lot in corporate world about its corporate culture, professional work life, and specifically building world-class software products in collaborating with global teams. Slowly, I fall in love with on-site opportunities. It's one of the dreams for every software engineer in India. I worked hard for 4 years, but I couldn't get US visa. I was totally disappointed and devastated. It was for sure one of the lowest points in my life. My colleagues consoled me, saying, in life, sometimes we don't have control over. US visa is based on lottery process and no one has a control over it. I should rather focus on creating opportunities. That point of time, I looked at a life in a new perspective. I paused and reflected. I determined myself to take charge of my life, to fully utilize the opportunities and leverage my potential. I explored all the possibilities. Back in 2015, in India, there are a lot of opportunities I saw, but I don't know how to tap into. A lot of startups emerging in India then. My roommate and myself always had one problem. We observed that whenever we are moving to a new rental house, landlord usually asks a rental deposit. You can relate to me well if you are in Mumbai and Bangalore specifically. If your rent is 20,000, your landlord will ask you to pay anywhere 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs as a rental deposit. My roommate and myself thought, when we can use credit card to pay small expenditures like mobile recharge, why can't we build such a huge expense as a rental deposit on a credit card? We researched and explored that there is no platform in India in 2015 solving this problem. We started a software and launched a fintech startup and eventually processed 250 crores of transactions on our platform. And so far, we have a user base of 1 lakh. As I continue to build my startup and scale further, I would like to pause and convey my gratitude to my team, friends, family, and investors for their unwavering support, without whom I couldn't have reached to my journey so far. To all listeners, in case you are in dilemma where you are heading, if you are not having a clue where you are heading, I would request you to take charge of your life, pause and reflect, and definitely you will connect the dots later. Trust your journey as of now. Thanks for patient listening, and over to you, Toastmasters. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Murali. Can I request everyone to get up if possible, as it is a Toast icebreaker speech? You can just. Yeah. Great, Murali. Thank you. Can we have a feedback link shared in the chat before I call up the second speaker, please?
Just a minute, I'm doing it.
Timer, you can stop sharing the screen. Yeah, there is a link shared in the chat window. It is to give feedback to Murali on his icebreaker speech. So please take your time and remember, Murali will remember your comments till he is in Toastmaster journey. If you type in chat, he will forget. He won't even see it. So if you want to give a feedback to him, give it through the feedback link. Yeah. Okay.
Ignore the title on the feedback.
Yeah. Our second speaker today is a corporate lawyer, a venture capitalist, Rotarian, and an avid golfer. He is Toastmaster VVSN Raju. The first time I heard his name, I thought, is there any relationship with our very, very special Lakshman? If you know Mr. VVS Lakshman. Yeah. Before calling VVSN Raju, I would like to call Toastmaster Pragya, his evaluator, to explain the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Harish, and a very good morning to all the members and especially to Toastmaster Raju. Toastmaster Raju is delivering his L1P1, which is also an icebreaker speech from the path Innovative Planning. The speech objectives for this particular project is for the member to introduce himself to the club. All the best, Toastmaster Raju. Timer, please note that the timing for the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pragya. Toastmaster VVSN Raju, you are never old to set another goal. You are never old to set another goal. Toastmaster VVSN Raju.
Friends, you are never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream. Good morning, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. So my name is Vegesana Venkata Satyanarayana Raju. That is my full name. Better known as a VVSN Raju in the official circles. And friends and family call me as Satish. Because of we have a big long names, we have a short it in the family circles and friends. So you can call me either Satish, Raju, whatever is comfortable to you. I was born in a small town named Narsipatnam in Visakhapatnam district of Andhra Pradesh. So my father was retired as a government veterinary doctor. My mother is a homemaker. I have two elder sisters who are married and settled. I was a happy child, never given any trouble to my parents, either in academics or otherwise. It's because it's a small town, no other entertainment except playing some games and all that. Watched so many, lot of Telugu movies and had a very much interest in on the movies and all that. So in 1 year, I remember that 120 movies were released and I watched almost 90 movies. I think that was when I was at the 8th class. So even though I was very good at maths, since my father wanted me to be a doctor, that is MBBS doctor because he was a veterinary doctor. So I have taken up a biology in the +2 and tried my luck to getting into the MBBS, but I did not able to get that. So I've joined the Bachelor of Science and moved to Visakhapatnam to pursue my science graduation. So I stayed with the friends and enjoyed the life and enjoyed the college, but never neglected my studies. During that, my final year of graduation, a few film shootings happened in my college. And I thought that now I better get into the movies because I have so much of liking and interest in that. And I had a big dream to get into the movies. So I completed my degree. And then I shifted to Hyderabad. My sister was also there in Hyderabad. Then try to get into the movies by attending some interviews and all that without having any much of experience. So another person from my same town, already there in Hyderabad, his name was Pitla Jagannatham, but later on he changed his name to Puri Jagannath. He's a popular director now. It's a legendary director right now in Telugu industry who directed more than 25 movies in Telugu and more popular for his movie Pokri, which was remade as a Wanted in Hindi. We stayed together and pursued the career in the film industry, but I always had that I should have a backup if I am not able to get in, not able to succeed in the films. So I thought the easiest course I can pursue is the law, or otherwise, even I fail it and go back to my town, we have a small court in my town, so I can practice in my town. And we have tried, me and Puri Jagannath, both of us used to go to the movie offices and check for the opportunities. Even though we got a small opportunities, we never got any big opportunity. In fact, in one movie of a Nagarjuna's movie, which is produced by Annapurna Studio, they selected me for a good role and did a makeup and everything and taken me to the camera. By the time somebody with a recommendation has taken that role and I lost the opportunity. So I completed my law. So because I understood that it's very difficult to get into the movie field as an actor, but it's a bit easy to get into the technical side. I got good opportunities to continue as in a technical department. But I thought, okay, let me get into my law because by the time I did scored very well in law. I thought, okay, any time I can come back to the movies, but I cannot pursue the law career in my life. So then I joined a senior lawyer. I worked with him and worked hard. In 1 year, I'm able to grasp the things. And then I got an opportunity to be a retainer for one of the corporate, and they used to give me a fixed fees for my month, irrespective of the work or not. So I thought again, pursue further education. I did my company secretary course. Then I completed my 3 years of experience and also CS Inter I completed. Then I came to know that there is an opportunities in the public sector, like I did Industrial Development of India, RBI and SEBI, and I appeared for those examinations, all India written exams, and got selected in for an Industrial Development Bank of India in a direct grade B officer position and got posted in Chennai. So I learned the financial institutions work, funding the large projects and doing the documentation, doing the security creation, doing the title investigation, all that work in IDBA. And later on, I moved it to ICICI Limited as Assistant Vice President in their 2001, which was a parent company of all these ICICI group companies. In 2003, ICICI Limited got merged with ICICI Bank. I was the head legal for ICICI Bank for Andhra Pradesh. Then in ICICI, I've learned different skills like getting things done and leadership, and also getting into the coordinating with various agencies and all that. And then I started a big dream of that, being to be an entrepreneur. Then I moved out of ICICI and started my law firm called Juris Prime Law Services. And because of the work experience I have and connections, we are breaking in a day one itself. And I've continued the journey as a law firm. And I thought, again, why should not I look back and see that whether I can do something in the movies, because I had a dream to do something. Then in 2005, I produced a movie with a good director and a lot of other new youngsters. We worked and released the movie in 2015. Started in 2015 and released it in 2015 and fulfilled my dream in the film industry. Then we also had thought of that why don't we work with a lot of youngsters in the startup space. I started investing in a lot of startups and worked with IIIT Hyderabad. And some of us together now, we are launched in a fund called the Succeed Innovation Fund, which is a 100 crores fund, invest in the deep tech. As of now, we have raised a 60 crores fund. And now we had another new goal of 3 goals I had right now. One is that make the Juris Prime as a full service law firm, having expertise in each and every field. But right now we are very good at only 4 specific areas of a corporate banking, real estate, and litigation. There are so many other areas in the legal field. We wanted to get into the all other fields, make it as a full service law firm with all sort of expertise in under one umbrella. The second is that launch a $100 million fund through a Succeed Innovation Fund. We are working on that along with my other co-founders. And third dream is accessing for my individual that get recognized by the High Court of Telangana as a senior designated lawyer. These are my 3 goals are dreams as of now. Friends, it's age never a factor. Always have new set of goals and have new dreams and work on that, fulfilling those dreams. Hope you all have reset your goals as on today. Thank you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Raju.
Sorry, it is directly moved to the red, so I've cut short my.
Yeah. And Jay, can you share the link once again?
Yeah, I'm just sharing it. Give me a sec.
Fine. You can share it after the next speaker, actually.
No,
So
it's done. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah. Please quickly give feedback for speaker to Toastmaster VVS and Raju.
Harish, you got muted. You are on mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Shashank, is a young professional working at Blue Star as a project engineer. He thinks personal interactions are the best because it connects better with the opposite person, which is not possible, or most of the times not possible, in an online setup. To introduce his speech, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Ram.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Harish. Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, especially Shashank. Today, Toastmaster Shashank is delivering speech on Level 1 Project 3 on Presentation Mastery Pathway. The core objective of his speech is member to learn basic research methods and present well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Shashank.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. So, Toastmaster Shashank, ponder the sounder. Toastmaster Shashank.
How long has it been since you felt understood? Or how long has it been since you understood someone? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, few months ago, one day as I was leaving home from work, I experienced a situation which was profound. On my way to the metro station, I saw a guy dressed in some stylish formal attire. But the irony was when he ignored a beggar who approached him for money. I got so angry that I stormed off by giving some money to the beggar. As I headed towards the ticket counter, I saw the same guy struggling to buy ticket online. That's when I got to know that he only had digital cash and not liquid. And it occurred to me that this might be the reason why he acted that way. And then as I began my journey, looking at the crowd, all of a sudden it dawned on me that each and every person in this crowd is living a life as complex as my own, and I am no better than them. Within few minutes, my mind recalled all the times when I saw red in others, and I realized how wrong I was in understanding people and situations. Having done some research, I found this unique realization is called Sonder. The word Sonder was coined in 2012 by John Koenig. He runs a blog called Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, where he defines Sonder as the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and as complex as your own, populated with their own ambitions, friends, worries, routines, and their inherited craziness. Also, in his popular TEDx talk, John talks about Sonder and he explains it as the idea that we all think ourselves as the main character and everyone else is as extra. But in reality, we all are the main characters and you yourself are an extra in someone else's story because everyone has a story as complex as your own. M. Handelsman, who is a professor in psychology at the University of Colorado, Denver, writes an article named Let's Ponder Sonder. In his article, he mentions how pondering Sonder contributes to our well-being. When I applied the same to my life, I discovered that this single word Sonder can do wonders. Because in the past, I saw myself as the main character and everyone else's as just extras, where only my life seemed challenging to me, where I never paid attention to the challenges of others. But pondering Sonder gave me a different perspective to look at people and situations. It even made me realize that a little empathy can make a huge difference in someone's life. It can do more. It can even prevent a lot of misunderstandings in our relationships and can make them healthier and stronger. My friends, how long has it been since you understood someone? Did you commit the same mistake as I did? I ask you to join me in this practice. Let us all start pondering this Sonder. Let us all start looking at people from this perspective. And let us all contribute in making this world a better place. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shashank. Ponder the Sonder. So we learned a very new word today. Thank you. So let us have a quick break and come back for the next sessions of the meeting. So the time. Yes,
Harish, let Jay's no, not Jay.
Yeah, voting also.
Feedback and
Feedback
voting,
for
and then we'll.
Yeah, timer. If all the speakers are eligible for voting or anyone disqualified.
No, Raju exceeded the time.
Okay, fine. So Toastmaster, you can
also, sorry. Also, Shashank was under time.
Under. Okay, fine then. So we are not going for voting then.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jay, just to confirm how much time Shashank has taken?
4 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. Just as a point of order, since VVSN mentioned that he saw only the red flag, is he still disqualified? I wonder.
VVS took 8 minutes 35 seconds.
Yeah, I understand. But he mentioned that he was only
I
able
never
to see
seen
the
the
red
green
flag.
and the yellow flags.
I think it was stuck.
Just to intimate, as per the rules of the TI, even if there's a fault from the timer card, we can have a grace time of 30 seconds allotted further to the scheduled disqualification time. But as it's mentioned, again, with due respect to everyone, just following what is the norm so that we can just continue it as it is. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, thank you. So we'll go for a quick break and come back for the next session. So it's 11:39 now, 11:40. So we will reassemble at 11:43. I don't want to go for a time marker 45. Thank you all.
Harish, Lokesh here. Before we go to a break, I will request all of you to take your 1 minute of time to give education session also we have. So speaker want to have, feedback from all of us. It will be really great if you take your 1 minute and give a feedback, and chat, we can start our break as well. Over to you, Harish. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Lokesh. Sure. So we'll come back at 11:45 only then. So take this. Please give feedback. Yeah.
So over to you, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Harish. While we are having the break time, like we promised, we'll be having the guest interaction with the first three members who have joined today's meeting. So may I request the first person to join today's meeting was Animesh Bharat. Are you there, Animesh?
Hi, good morning, Rahul.
Good to see you back. Good to see
Thank you
you
so much
again after the last meeting. I was really excited to see you back today. And thank you, DTM Manidi, for inviting the guest Animesh to the meeting over here. So, Animesh, as for the meeting up until now, what is really exciting? Or tell us something about yourself, quick. And how do you find the meeting until now?
Oh, fantastic, Rahul. It's been a great start of the year. I think DTM Sravanthi, you just galvanized all of us right in the beginning of the year. I think nothing better to hear about mentor and mentee relationship. And I have been part of both being a mentor and also being a mentee. So I think it's a wonderful journey. And you rightly said, there's no love lost if you have to change your mentor and move on and seek for better people's guidance. And I think this group, all of you guys are great mentors in some way or the other. So thanks, Rahul. Having a great time so far.
Thank you, Animesh, for the kind words.
And I can't call it, I don't want to call it a day so early. So
Thank you. The next guest that we had was V. Venkateshwara Sharma. Are you there? V. Venkateshwara Sharma. Is it VVS? Okay.
We have one more VVS.
Yes, we have one more VVS, and thanks to the confusion at the start of the meeting. So VVS, a quick intro about yourself and how are you finding the meeting up until now? You're on mute.
All right. Yeah. So so far, I really felt that the meeting was great. To begin with, the session from Sravanthi was excellent. To start with the motivation for the day, it really kind of I did feel that to start with this kind of a session really inspires me to do something and then motivate myself to be able to achieve greater level of confidence in whatever I do, right? Myself, Venkateshwara Sharma, I have been working in the IT field for more than 15 years. Basically, I just joined this Toastmasters to kind of improve my leadership and public speaking skills, so that we could achieve the goals that we have set for this year and the years later.
Interesting.
Thanks
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, guest Venkateshwara Sharma. And the next guest that we have is Yasir Ali Khan. Are you there?
Yes, Rahul, I'm here.
Perfect. Can you switch on your video if it's possible?
Yeah, due to some glitch, my cam is not working. I'm
no
sorry
issues. A quick intro and how do you feel about the meeting until now?
Sure, Rahul Jain, for giving me this opportunity to share my feedback and how I'm feeling the first session of Toastmaster. Coming to my introduction, myself Yasir, and I have done my master's in pharmacology and working as a regulatory specialist in pharma industry, and currently I'm working with fast moving consumer goods as a regulatory specialist. Today is the first attempt as the Toastmaster Club and attending this insightful session on mentorship and how the people are facing when they are giving the attempt of speeches. This is really a great forum to build up public speaking skills and leadership skills. Looking forward to be a part of this club. That's all.
Thank you, Yasir. And that's for those were the three first guests to the meeting over here on a Sunday morning. Being the first ones is indeed a great task to accomplish in itself. Thank you for that. And you will be honored with a Toastmaster magazine that will be shot to your mail ID after the meeting right away from our Surgeon at Arms, Toastmaster Harish. And we are at 11:45. Just to urge for one simple practice that you all could do is, while we may or may not get a chance to speak, it would be great if you can use the chat to share your sentence or your line with the word of the day and the idiom of the day. That's a great practice to actually get with a conscious attempt to get and use the word of the day and the idiom of the day in the chat. So whenever you get time, shoot a sentence or a two with the word of the day and the idiom of the day. And giving it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Harish, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. So
Once again to pitch in, sorry, time.
Lokesh, your voice is breaking up.
Okay, so I'll chat. I received 6 feedback on education session. Please share your feedback. Give you 1 minute for the feedback on education session. Over to you, Harish.
Yeah, thank you, Lokesh. Welcome back. Yeah, so building deeper relations. And I want to share one personal experience with you all, which kind of changed my life in this regard. In the year 2018, those days I used to work as a consultant in Bangalore, my house being in Hyderabad. So I used to travel at least twice in a month from Bangalore and Hyderabad. Those days, before boarding a flight, what I used to do is download 2-3 movies in Amazon Prime and Netflix. Just after getting in, I will plug in earphones and used to travel regularly. I never bother about someone sitting beside. On one such trips, I forgot my headset. And I cannot watch a movie with a full volume inside the flight. So, with nothing to do for next 1 hour, I started speaking with a young man, Mr. Sriram, who was sitting beside me. He turned out to be an entrepreneur going to meet an investor. We had a 1 full hour of interesting conversations. We spoke about life, politics, careers, and many other topics. You can't believe, before we landed in Bangalore, this person, Mr. Sriram, has become my client. Not just that, in the past 3 years, he referred me to another 4 people who in total contribute me 50% of my revenue today. I still wonder, because of not giving time to people around, how many Srirams I have missed in my life till now. Just think. It is not just about money, but as per my experience, whenever you speak to a stranger, you will learn or earn something. If not, you would have wasted 10 minutes. Anyhow, you are going to waste on YouTube. That's what is my take. So before going to further into the art of being personal, I want to take you through the second segment of the meeting, which is table topics. For that, I am going to invite a Toastmaster. She is an image specialist by her profession and a self-worth influencer by passion. She has 3 decades of experience in the field of education through training and coachings. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sriveni to conduct table topic session.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Harish. Good morning, rather to say good afternoon, yeah. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The purpose of table topics is to have members practice thinking and speaking on their feet. The impromptu speaking helps to develop 4 communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. To help you practice today, I have prepared a few topics that hopefully will help you meet this goal. Toastmaster Club has a tradition of getting as many people to speak in a meeting as possible. The table topics round tries to uphold this value by providing everyone an opportunity. I encourage everyone to give it a try. So you can raise your virtual hand and keep it there so that I can call your name. Also reiterating what the grammarian said, you are urged to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day during the table topics round. Before we begin, I would request the timer to call out the timing guidelines once again for the table topics round.
Thank you, table topic master. I will reiterate that time for table topic is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the longer side. So you have to at least speak for 1 minute to qualify for voting. I will show green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes.
Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster. So we have our guest, Iran Pathan. So may I ask you to pick a number from 1 to 10?
Small request here, the G. Can you give it first to Toastmaster and then we can have the guest Irfan follow?
Okay, sure. Thank you for that, General Evaluator. So let us ask the VTM Annadata Murli Manohar. May I ask you to pick a number from 1 to 10?
I always love to be number 1.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so here is your topic. Brief us about an interesting conversation you had on a flight or a long road journey. I repeat, brief us about an interesting conversation you had on a flight or a long road journey. Over to you.
Thank you very much. I was in a hurry, galvanized, because I didn't want to miss my chance. Just like our Toastmaster of the day said.
Can I have the timer cards, please?
Is it okay?
Is the timer card visible to all?
No, he has just put timer. That's okay. We can know him.
It is.
Yeah, now it's shared. Okay. So I would like to share with you a very professional experience. I'm into marketing of insurance. So I tried to be connecting with one person and he was always giving me some lame excuses. So I just thought we should not call it a day, but make it sure that we make it happen. So I asked him where he was going ahead next week. He said next week he was flying to Dubai. I was in Kuwait. So I booked a flight with him in the same flight, Kuwait, Dubai by Emirat. And it was 1.5 hours journey, except for 15-20 minutes of initial hello, hi. I took the liberty of talking to him professionally, and I did close a case with him. So I would say that was one of the best professional thing. The second one I would like to highlight is I was trying to get a lift from someone from the Indian Embassy in Kuwait to my Kuwait city. So I was waiting for a lift, and because I'm from Hyderabad, I know this lift situation. So I took a person who had a special car, whether a Rolls Royce or some other car. I got a person who is with a town car, Lincoln, and I just took a lift for 10 minutes, but it became that he and we did 44 businesses together. He was one of the youngest and the richest Indian in Kuwait. So my dear friends, as our friend said, make it every opportunity, every situation, turn it into opportunity. And I'm sure you don't have to quit any activity. You will be successful. I have shared my experience with you, and I'm sure each one of us also have this. So thank you, and over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much for that, VTM Annadata Murli Manohar. Absolutely, 44 businesses. Yes, wonderful. So before we go ahead with the next speaker, let's call it a day to multitasking, doing something parallelly. My dear members, Toastmasters here, and please don't do parallelly anything and focus on this event, table topics. Let's all galvanize together to experience these impromptu speeches and applaud the speakers who are there to initiate. Let me just go to the next speaker, guest Irfan Pathan. May I request you to pick up a number other than 1 from 2 to 10?
Yeah, I will go with my lucky number 3.
3. Okay. Thank you so much for that. So it is about a recent game which you played with a baby below 3 years. A
Yeah.
recent game which
Yes.
you played with a baby below 3 years. Over to you.
Yes, it's an easy topic to me. I think so because I'm having a baby. I used to play peekaboo with my baby, so I want to discuss on that topic. And generally, to say my baby used to regularly wants to play peekaboo because she likes to play peekaboo with me and along with my mother, her mother also, and my lovely wife. And apart from this, generally I used to go to office in morning times. Now because of this COVID session, I'm not traveling much, so I used to be in home itself. So as I'm in sales, so I used to coordinate with sales people, and I used to come to home and late evening sometimes. So generally I used to knock the door, or else ring. Generally I will knock the door. I will call my wife usually, and I will say, I'm here, just open the door, and don't say to my baby. Then slowly I will go to my baby and do peekaboo with her, and she will be very happy and say, Papa, aa gaya hai. Karke. So generally like that, I will start my evening. And then after going to my, let's say, small work, let's say regular things, then again I will come to my baby and I will start playing something, and I will end my day with peekaboo only, generally with my baby. So that is the thing. And sometimes it's not like if I'm not doing so, it will not be a galvanized thing to me. So regularly playing with my baby, peekaboo is a galvanized thing to me. And finally, I will call it a day with that game itself. Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot.
much. Thank you so much for that, guest Irfan. So that was the absolute human interactions, playing with your child, most relieving of you of the stress of the day. Let's go to the next volunteer who has initiated this, the guest Venu Alampalli. Please, can you come on the camera? Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I request you to pick a number 2 and other from 4 to 10.
9.
9.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Here you have your topic. So this is about any unfortunate incident that happened in your life and you came out of it triumphantly. I repeat, any unfortunate incident that happened in your life and you came out triumphantly. Over to you.
Okay. That's a good topic. So when I was 20 years, my father has gifted a bike, and because the money also used to spend send every month, and bike also he has gifted, then I'm having full of energies, and so I used to drive very fast, and if there isn't traffic signals also, I never used to care about that. And so, and if there is any crossroads, I used to take a fast turns. And one time at Secunderabad, so I fall down. So there is a sand on the road. I fall down from the bike. Luckily, I did not injure. By the time I was also, I used to sports person. I used to do yoga. Then I was so flexible. I did not injure. And from that day onwards, if there is any crossroads, I remember that incident. I take slowly the turn. That is one of the experience I got it. And this and also I never used to drive more than 100 kilometers speed. Even I'm driving in the car also, because I used to remember that incident, that I saved it. So otherwise, if that would not happen, might be I would have met with so many other problems. That is a good experience I got it from the driving. And like this, this is one of the good example for me, the incident which has happened to me. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much for that, guest Venu, what you have shared. Absolutely, totally agree with you. Yes. So may I have all our any of our members from our HTM club also raise their virtual hands so that I can pick up. And now I am going to ask our guest Satish. May I have you on the camera, please? Yeah, thank you so much. So may I ask you to pick up a number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10.
10.
10. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So your topic is here. Any heart-touching moment you had when you accompanied any person to drop either your child at school or see of a friend. I repeat, any heart-touching moment, conversation you had when you were accompanied either to drop your child at school or see off a friend. Over to you.
Yeah. I remember I usually drop my daughter to in the morning to her school at 8 o'clock. And then again, I go to office. And during one incident, I remember that when I was there, so my one more friend, it was sitting with me and he asked me to lift to go to office. So I have just give his help and then bring him to my car. And when we are going to drop my daughter, and he shared one incident that touching my heart. He was telling that whenever he goes to office, he gives lift to all the person who is needing it. And usually he always does in 365 days. So that touching incident. And then first time I had given that help to him to drop to his office. So that incident inspired me. And from that, I make a habit. Who is coming with me or who doesn't is there, then I usually give the lift to the person always to come to that office. So that habit is inculcated from that touching incident of my life, and it's continued till date. And today also, in a 30 days, 5 or 6 occasions, I usually pick up the person who is going on the way or by walk to my office. So I just stop my car, take the lift, give the lift to him and drop to the office. So that touching incident is really keep a practice. I mean, inculcating the habit and continue till my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Satish, that was really absolutely an example of human interactions. Thank you so much. So the next participant who has initiated is DTM Padma Kumar. Sir, may I ask you to pick up a number from 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5.
5. Okay. Thank you so much. You have your topic here. It's about the pre-COVID condition, pre-COVID times, when you had a friendly get-together and spent at a common place. I repeat, it's about the pre-COVID times when you had a friendly get-together spent at a common place.
I remember the alumni meeting that we had, where all the batchmates from MBA got together. And most of us are grandfathers now. The stories that we had to share with each other were delectable. There were instances where people got married very early, particularly people from the trading community who had a practice of getting married by the time they're 20 or 22. By now, their grandchildren are already doing school finals. So it was a pleasant experience to listen to that. There were also a few who were the true metroites, who believed not in getting married until they're about 30, 32. For them, their grandchildren were just infants, just born or maybe 1 or 2 years old. And they were sharing their experiences. And I fall in an in-between category. I got married when I was 27, and my granddaughter now is 2.5 years old. Of course, I get to play with her only through Zoom, and maybe I should try the peekaboo over Zoom. I've never tried that so far. So thank you for reminding me about that wonderful game. I still recall that when we were kids, pre-COVID, there were so many possibilities in terms of games. Even robber police or LONDO in London was supposed to be a very, very thrilling game. But now we have to reinvent ourselves. Now we have to find out games that can be played more effectively on an online medium. Maybe we're evolving. Maybe this is the next stage of human evolution. Who knows? We should not continue to stick to the pre-COVID ways of doing things. We need to constantly innovate, re-engineer, reimagine ways in which we can live our life to the fullest, even given the constraints that we are facing now. So thank you for helping me to reminisce about that opportunity that I had. And what was the word of the day today? That helped me galvanize my thoughts and present it to you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much for that wonderful narration of the time you spent human interactions. Absolutely. DTM Padmakumar, thank you so much. So now here, thank you all very much for participating in today's table topic segment. I really enjoyed your talks and I'm very happy to see you taking charge of improving your impromptu speaking ability. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Harish. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Table Topics Master, Sriveni. Yeah, we are done with second part of the meeting, the table topics. And now I would like to invite Toastmaster Ajit, the general evaluator for the meeting, to take us through the evaluations.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster of the Day, Harish. It was a brilliant table topic session, wasn't it? Can we all have some claps for Toastmaster Sriveni? Thank you, thanks a lot. And now it's time for me to help my fellow team members show every one of us the mirror that we talked about before the meeting. To help me do this, obviously, I talked to you, I shared with you some of my team members. The three other members who are going to help me do it will come on the stage one by one. Their job is to evaluate the speech given by the speaker. You already heard the objectives from them before the speech. Before I call them, let me share with you a little bit about them that I got to know during the introduction. Our next evaluator is passionate love is to drive cars, and he likes to keep things simple. Aman, next time you're going on a long drive, you should invite me also. And to keep things simple, the reason I'm asking you to do that is because I'd like to go out for lunch with you.
Sure.
So,
you're welcome.
Thank you, Aman. Let's hear your evaluation for the first speaker.
Sure. So here my evaluation for Toastmaster Murli. First of all, I would like to say wow, because it's your first icebreaker speech and you are excellent and very passionately conveyed us your topic. You took us through your journey so far. You tried to galvanize us with your thought process. And every speech has a three section to it, that the beginning of the speech and the middle and towards the end. And beginning of the speech, you started very well. The choice of words are very simple, easy to understand. And I would say it's a very good attempt. It shows your desire that you are very much interested in developing yourself. And we got to know about yourself in a nutshell. In a very brief, you were able to convey that what we want to know. You try to hook the audience. I was able to understand that what you have gone through and how you have understand your IBM culture and corporate culture. And then that was a turning point in your life where you have decided to go for a startup with an idea of a real world experience of making the payments through credit cards. That was a thought, that was a visionary approach which you have done. So I was very much interested that how you explored. You also tried to give a message towards the end of your speech, that if you are not getting confused, you take a pause and take a charge of your life, connect your dots. So that was overall, I liked your speech, the way you have communicated. Very good, very nice. But one challenge I want to give you, that if you work on the content of the speech little bit more elaborative, because the topic you have chosen is a journey so far. So as an audience, I would like to know some more about it, some more, that when you, which was the turning point in your life when you decided to connect your dots and when you took the charge. So I would interested at least one incidence if you can share, so that will give that will furthermore hook the audience that, oh, this is what Murli about, and we want, this is what he has faced, because our lives are, in my opinion, our lives is full of incidences. So we can share the good incidences, the very good incidences, and the incidences where we have learned. So that's what, if you can work on that, the overall the speech content will further improve and your ability of thoughts will improve in final delivery. Overall, it's a very nice speech. Very, in the first attempt, you are, I can say you are one of the best. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Yeah,
Over
thank
to you.
you. Thank you, Aman. I muted myself, didn't see that. Thanks, Aman. Thanks for your lovely words. Wonderful evaluation. This was Aman's one of his first few evaluations. Though I request senior Toastmasters to also share with him if any feedback they have for Aman. I mean, let's all learn from each other in that spirit. Please give your feedback to Aman also if you would like to. Our next evaluator for the day is a wonderful, warm human person. She is a skills trainer by profession, a learner by nature. She's been a Toastmaster for an year, but I can guarantee you the number of meetings she attended more than probably somebody who's been Toastmaster 5 years. She loves exploring and finds the newness in things. The two qualities that she said which she would like to imbibe from somebody she admires in HTM is stability and talking turkey. Pragya, can you tell us who this person is before you give us the evaluation of the second speaker?
That person is Toastmaster Pratima.
Wow. Look forward to your evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And I have always heard this from my grandmother that you don't grow old when you age. You grow old when you stop exploring things, trying for newness, and you don't have a goal to go forward. Today, by your speech, Toastmaster Raju, I could directly connect to that particular explanation which my grandmother has been giving me. You clearly told us that you don't age till the time you decide, and you have shown different stages of your life where you particularly set targets for you. You explored areas. Most of us would have one degree and we will be done with it. But you literally explored everything from medical to law to CS to everything possible. And that shows us of what kind of variety do you hold in your life. It did tell me about your explorer nature, your dedication toward things, and how you look for something which is the next step ahead. Three things which I loved about your speech was you took us in a chronological order where we could literally move with you in your journey of at what stage you have done what. Second thing which I loved about your speech was the clarity of what you gained from each level of your learning and experience which was there. And the third thing which I loved about your speech was that each story directly connected to the central idea which you had, that never stop having goals for your life. It is an extremely amazing task when all your stories are a live proof of what is the message that you would love to deliver. As it's an icebreaker speech, you have explored something new. So I wouldn't say too many recommendations, but yes, a point which will help you in your growth. As a listener, I would also love to know the flip side of your life. What else is there in you? I am sure a lot of our Toastmasters would want to connect with you at different segments of your life. Maybe if you can share some hobbies that you have, or if you can share some interests other than the field where you have grown, there'll be a lot of people in HTM who would love to be a part of your journey from going forward. But other than that, as an icebreaker speech, you were confident, you connected well with the central idea and the message you had, and you delivered and led us through your journey very, very clearly. And that's a great job done. I'm sure you have set great goals for your journey in Toastmasters also, and you'll achieve them all. All the best for your future, and congratulations on taking this first step and doing it wonderfully. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Pragya.
Thank you, Pragya. That was wonderful. That was an amazing evaluation, and I'm sure Toastmaster Raju would learn a lot from that also. And also the feedback that he's got from all of you wonderful people. Our next evaluator is a person who has a lot of technology hunger. And I can vouch for that because this gentleman I happen to know has got 35 plus patents. I'm sorry, the number is wrong. He can correct me on that. And he's focused on customer obsession. He works with a company based in US called Career Icon. And he strongly believes that Toastmasters is a place where we can all connect with different mindsets, build our network, and learn together and develop. We'd like to do that with you also, Ram, during your evaluation of Speaker 3.
Thank you, Ajit. So, ponder the sonder, think about and realization. Hope you got it. Shashank, today we started with a question. How it has been since you understand someone? It is a brownie point of grabbing all our interest towards the next stage of the speech. And again, reiterating, ponder the sonder, think about the realization. The title itself creating an intellectual curiosity and to know more about the instances of views on the speech. You are very well talked about a gentleman and who ignored a lean and hunger beggar and moving away. So, which is very common situation where we used to see in traffic signals, and we used to react. Sometimes we may not react, but I'm surprised that the beggar is not reacted and you reacted towards the situation. So this is very natural and quite common at that point of time. And also you made a research on John's theory about the ponder the sonder and think about the realization shows. And the results are you started understanding the people and their views and thought process for each and every situation in your life. The positive points about the speech is you started using a good words. I know your previous speech and you stuck in between, you forgot sometimes in speech, but you overcome that. And that's a positive impact. And also you made a very good research and explain real-time examples. And coming to the negatives, I mean the challenges, the improvements in terms of the topic is, so it would be great value addition if you had covered one or two additional research examples and how it value added for yourself. And also it would be great help for people if you add a slides, one or two slides and presentation such how you made a research and what is the results, a kind of a graph and the people and trend analysis. So coming to the summary, yeah, you presented very well and delivered and you did not stuck in anywhere in between. That's a good point taken away. And I still recollected my L1 P3 speech where I stuck in between and naturally. So, but as you working on same products, HVAC, so some similarities even I observed. So please focus on these things you can be improved upon. And thank you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ram, for your evaluation. Our taking forward the evaluation part of the for the meeting, I now request the timer to please tell us whether all the evaluators are they eligible for the vote?
All evaluators qualified for voting.
Okay, so can we have a voting for the best evaluator?
Yeah, just a minute. I'm launching it.
Okay, guys, please take some time to vote for the best evaluator for the
It's
week.
here.
Yeah, it's there. I can see it. Come on, guys, we got 50% voting. I'd like to have some more votes. 57. I hope you all can see the poll. 60%. We'll stop at, we'll wait for 75 at least. More the merrier. Okay, thanks, thank you. Let's end the poll, and I would now request. Thank you. Thanks for your voting. I would now request our timer, if you're ready with your report, can you share with us the time taken?
I'm sharing my screen. So in the prepared speech, am I audible, visible?
You're audible, sir.
Okay. In the prepared speech segment, Toastmaster Muralidhar took 4 minutes 32 seconds. Toastmaster VSS and Raju took 8 minutes 35 seconds. My bad in his speech. I think I directly went from white to red. So please excuse. And then Toastmaster Shashank took 4 minutes exactly. Then table topics, DTM Murli Manohar took 1 minute 45 seconds. Guest Irfan Pathan took 1 minute 32 seconds. Guest Venu Alampalli took 1 minute 50 seconds. Guest Satish took 1 minute 40 seconds. DTM Padma Kumar took 2 minutes 13 seconds. In the evaluator segments, TM Aman took 2 minutes 50 seconds. TM Pragya took 2 minutes 40 seconds, and TM Ram took 3 minutes 13 seconds. So here is it from my end. I'm calling it a day.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Thanks for your crisp report. I would now request the Wordmaster and Comedian Toastmaster Vidya to galvanize us with his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Splendid job by our team today, team of speakers today. For the word of the day, we had our General Evaluator Ajit, guest Animesh, TM Annadata, and Toastmaster Sriveni use it. We also had TTM Padma Kumar use the word of the day. Guest Irfan made a valiant attempt at using the word, but wasn't grammatically correct. The idiom of the day saw lower usage. We had guest Animesh use it, TTM Annadata use it, and Timer J use it. From a grammarian perspective, we had some interesting usage of English language. Our guest speaker for today, DTM Sravanthi, I like the way she used light up the chat. Nice way to put it rather than post on your chat, post on the chat. Light up the chat was a nice thing. Somebody used utilize opportunities and leverage my potential. That was nice. Our third prepared speech speaker, Shashank, had some interesting usage. The irony was that was one phrase that he used. He used the word, it dawned on me. There was a slight mispronunciation of the word dawn, but that was nice. It was a nice use. Living a life as complex as my own. He introduced us to the word sonder, and Toastmaster DTM Padma Kumar talked about reminisce about the past in his table topic section. These were some interesting usage. In terms of places where things could have been done better, somebody said, I born and brought up, but it should have been, I was born and brought up in. A lot of the speakers missed using articles at appropriate places. So A, and B were missing in a lot of speakers' words today.
On the other hand, there was also a speaker who used these articles unnecessarily. So that's something that we need to pay attention to. Somebody said, reach to my journey. That should have been in my journey. A generic suggestion to all, and that is a request rather, to pronounce words a little more clearly so that it comes across better. Somebody said, never given any trouble. Should have been never gave any trouble. Somebody also said, I have taken up. In that context, it should have been. The speaker said, did not able to get that. Should have been, was not able to get that. Then another speaker said, got a small opportunities. So it should have been got small opportunities or got a small opportunity. The speaker greeted us saying good afternoon when it was still morning. It was before 12 noon. And of course, there is a debate about whether we say good morning or good afternoon, no matter which time of the day we meet someone for the first time. But that apart, it was well before 12 noon. Somebody said, I fall down from my bike. Should have been, I fell down from my bike. Getting a prompt to correct my camera position. Someone said, I did not injured. Should have been, I did not get injured. Someone said, I make a habit. Should have been, I made it a habit. Somebody said, work on content of speech more elaborative. I presume it should be meant elaborate the content of your speech. And there was an incorrect use of the word incidents. It was not, should not have been incidences, it should have been incidents. These are some of the areas or opportunities for improvement that I could have, I noted down. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vidya, for your insightful report. My bad, I actually should have called Toastmaster Money before you, but I'm very sorry for that. Money, can you share the R counter report for the day?
Thank you, Ajit. What a galvanizing meeting it was. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to each and every speaker. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the stars, I would call, who did not use a single filler word. We have Word Master Grammarian Vidya, we have DTM Murli, we have DTM Padma, and Evaluator Toastmaster Pragya. Kudos to all four of them. They did not use a single filler word. And coming to my report, there are few of our members and guests who I still feel that there's a lot of potential that they have in trying to reduce the usage of number of filler words. So Toastmaster of the day, Harish, used 2 ums, 2 ahs, and 7 short pauses, and 2 long pauses. And General Evaluator Ajit, 2 ahs, 1 1 you know, 1 short pause. Timer J, 1 so, 1 short pause, 1 long pause. Zoom Master Jai Jilani, 1 like, 1 Speaker Murli, 1 short pause, 1 long pause. Speaker Raju, 1 1 so, 1 short pause. Sorry, we also have Speaker Shashank who did not use a single filler word. Kudos to you, Shashank. And we have Table Topic Master Sriveni, 2 ahs and 1 short pause. Guest Irfan, 1 1 Guest Venu, 1 and 4 1 short pause. Guest Satish, 2 ahs. Evaluator Toastmaster Aman, 2 long pauses and 6 ahs. Evaluator Ram, 4 ahs, 2 ums, 1 short pause. So with this, I'm calling it a day, and I wish all of you all the best, and let us consciously put an effort in trying to reduce the usage of filler words. practice is the only way to perform and speak effectively in engaging the audience. Thank you very much, and over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Ajit.
Hey, Mani, wonderful report. You have one R in your name, Mani. Okay, so great report. I loved it. And I love one of the comments, Shashank Redemption. Wonderful. Thanks, Param, for that. Coming to my comments of the meeting, it was a wonderful meeting. Can we have a better meeting? Let's clap for all of us. Please, let's remove your mutes and let's hear it for all of us. All of us deserve it. Wonderful meeting, lovely. I loved it. From the start, DTM Sravanthi set the tone with a wonderful mentoring session. It's so inspiring to see her still with us. We really love you, Sravanthi, and your enthusiasm. I know you're a different time zone, but that you're spending so much time with us. We really love you. We would love you to have you with us for all meetings if possible. We are getting greedy, but we would love you to have you with us as many times as possible. We also have, thanks for sharing, Sravanthi just shared a file. Let's, all of you can go through the presentation that she's sharing. We missed on the Toastmaster, table topic master vote. While I am giving my report, if you can just put the poll up, it'll be good. People can listen to me and also vote for the best table topic speaker.
General Evaluator,
for the timing.
Before I launch the poll, I want to ask the timer if everyone has qualified for the table topics session.
Timer, is anybody disqualified for TTM? I thought everybody did.
Everybody is qualified for voting for in table topics session.
Okay, then
I'm launch the poll. I don't have much to share, add to that. Please do the table topic voting while I continue with my, let me give you 10-15 seconds. Yeah, at 60%, guys, a few more votes. I hope you guys can see the poll. Lovely. We are there, almost there. Thank you. Let's end the poll. Let's call it a day as far as the voting is concerned for the table topic speaker. Thank you. Coming to my evaluation of the meeting, it was a wonderful, it's a wonderful team. There might be something more that Harish has to share. We'd love to hear that. The table topics wonderfully done by Sriveni in according to the theme, in accordance with the theme. All of us got to know a little bit more about how human connect is possible with the thanks to all those wonderful topics. My sincere request to Sriveni is to have a mix of HTM members and guests all participate. Okay, in the interest of time, it will be, if you can alternate, it will be better. Of course, the HTMers did not put up their hands. I need to rebuke them for that. But HTMers, come on, guys. You get a table topic opportunity. Please put your hands up there. I request all of you do that regularly. Anytime there are table topic session, put your hands right up. It's up to our table topic master to decide when to call home. So let's give out those options at the start of the meeting itself. Coming to evaluation, all the evaluation is wonderful. We all love to hear icebreakers, and we had 2 of them today. That was so wonderful, and really nice to get to know Murli and Divesh and Raju. Both of them, they are leaders in their business in a particular way, and it was so inspiring to hear them, their stories. And then Shashank, he hit the ball out of the park today by no fillers, and he is just his second speech today. Wonderful, Shashank. And that wonderful evaluation from all the, very encouraging evaluation from all the evaluators. My only request to the evaluators of icebreaker speeches is keep it very encouraging, which you did today. And any improvements, if there are any, you could kind of probably, but they are wonderful senior people, so it's fine. But in future speeches, keep the evaluations limited to acknowledging what you have done well. and all they have a long journey. They would definitely learn more in the future journey. Okay, wonderful evaluations done by today, all of you. Wonderful reports, all live, wonderful crisp reports. I'll keep myself short also because we are short of time today. Back to the Toastmaster day, Harish. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for a thorough evaluation of all the speeches and roles. Yeah. Back to our theme of the day, the art of being personal. So we all know that these deep connections with people will give us more fulfilling personal relations. But in this fast-paced life where everyone is busy, going from meeting to meeting, work to work, and person to person, how can we stay connected with everyone and make them feel better? I have a very simple solution for that, which most of you might have already did it or you already know it. Suppose on my birthday, at around 9:30, Facebook reminds someone that it is Harish's birthday. And that person posts happy birthday Harish in a WhatsApp group. Then starts a flood of messages. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday Harish. And sometimes I feel like, is it really a wish or it's just a formality and attendance that I am also wishing? I don't know. Then fine, after say 10 or 20 messages, I will say thank you. I can see some people take the pain of mentioning each person's name and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Till that time, it is good. But after saying thank you, then someone else will come again and wish. There starts the problem. So throughout the day, I am spamming that group or someone else is spamming the group because of me. It will be little uncomfortable. And most of the times, I don't even remember the people who wished me in a group. If you message me personally, I may remember, because after that personal interaction, I may start a small conversation with you. How are you doing? How have you been? The next best thing, call that person. This shows that you have taken your time out. You want to spend time with him and made his life memorable. These people we remember for most of the time. I can say my last birthday, I got 2 calls from HTM, which is Toastmaster Jeshosri and Toastmaster Param, which I still remember even the conversation, how we start the conversation. I was getting into a lift by the time she called me. I stopped there and spoke there for a couple of minutes. So this is what makes a personal interaction more memorable than just a thing. So try it out. One more good advantage with this is, at least once in a year you will meet that person or you will speak to that person, because at least once a year he is going to celebrate a birthday. If he also likes the way you wished him, maybe he will call you back on your birthday, which means twice in a year you are going to speak with each person in your connections. So this is one big takeaway for me as well. So I am also starting to do this. So hope everyone will start doing this and connect with your old friends. So this is the art of being personal, which I wanted to bring before you. Thank you very much, everyone. So I would like to request the presiding officer of the meeting, Toastmaster Jeshosri, to take it forward.
So
Lokesh is
Harish,
taking over from here.
Yes, yes. So Harish, Jasho is not in a meeting. She is not feeling well, so she left. So I'll be taking over, taking
Okay,
it over.
Lokesh, thank you.
So thank you so very much, Harish, for being TMOD and driving all the entire meeting so well. So I thank you all of you for joining us today. Special thanks to DTM Sravanthi for joining us in midnight, and I think in few hours it will be early morning for you. So still you are connecting with us. So thank you so very much for enlightening all of us for such a wonderful session. There are a lot of takeaways which I am taking from your session. And I also thank to all the role players for your wonderful participation. and all the audience for joining us for this meeting. Please note, let me share the winners of today's role player. I think we need to do the voting for role players. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Jai, please roll out the voting for the best role players.
Doing it in a second, sir. Lokesh, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Did it.
Okay, perfect. So all of you, I will request you to vote for, you have a 2-segment voting. One is segment 1 for between TMOD, Table Topic Master, and GE. And second is between timer, counter, and Word Master Grammarian.
Lokesh, I think there's a correction. Word Master Grammarian is Vidya Shankar.
Yes. I think you can consider.
That's okay. Continue voting for the WMG as Vidya Shankar. You can ignore the name, please.
Yes. So there was a last moment when Toastmaster Vidya Shankar has taken as Word Master Grammarian. So you can vote for Word Master Grammarian, Toastmaster Vidya Shankar as a Word Master Grammarian. Right. So we need little more votes, please. Okay, I think we are done, right? So we can close the poll. Yeah, we can close the poll. Done. Okay. So friends, results are ready with me. So let me share the winners for today's meeting. So for our first segment, prepared speech segment, so 2 speakers could not qualify. So by default, it goes to Toastmaster Muralidhar. Toastmaster Muralidhar, congratulations to you. I will be sharing certificates soon after the meeting. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Muralidhar, for best prepared speaker. Prepared speech speaker, and the second segment is the best evaluator, which goes to Toastmaster Pragya. So Toastmaster Pragya, congratulations. And then comes to table topic. So best table topic speaker goes to DTM Padma Kumar. So DTM Padma Kumar, once again, congratulations. Why I'm saying is, once again, many of us know. And coming to the role player. So for segment 1, it is a tie between TMOD and Table Topic Master. So congratulations Toastmaster Harish and Toastmaster Sravanthi for best role player 1, and best role player 2 goes to Counter Toastmaster Manideep. So congratulations to all of you for your wonderful participation and support. With this, we come to the end of the meeting, and our next meeting is on 23rd of January, which is the joint meeting between one community club, which is Hyderabad Toastmaster, and a corporate club, which is TA Digital Club. So more information we will share on our social media and our WhatsApp group very soon. So next Sunday, 23rd of January, it's a joint meeting. More details will share soon. So thank you so very much for your valuable participation, your valuable presence. I could see 34 members still there in this meeting. Thanks for staying with us. So out of 50,
I think we missed the group picture.
Okay, anybody is taking group picture? May I request all of you to switch on your camera, please? And in between, when you're switching on your camera, let me share that this recording is there live on Facebook. So anytime you want to watch what happened during meeting, if you miss some segment, go to our Facebook page of Hyderabad Toastmaster. See there, you will find the recording. Okay, anybody taking picture? I am on my phone. I'll not be able to do that.
I have taken.
Who has taken?
Murli Manohar.
Lokesh, I'm taking. I'll be sharing the scene.
Okay. DTM Murli, thank you so much for that. Some of our club member will also keep it in our record. So thank you, Rahul. Once done, let me know.
Done, Lokesh.
Okay.
A small request from the G. All of you are requested to RSVP for our next meeting. The next meeting already there on Meetup. Please RSVP for next meeting so that we can plan better for next meeting well before time, because of joint meeting. So it will help us if we have some advanced information. Thank you.
Yes. May I request you all to take some time, maybe 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, to open your RSVP and sorry. to open your meetup and do an RSVP over there. So thank you so very much. This extended by 15 minutes, but I think that worth with so much of interesting education session and so much of prepared speeches and table topic evaluation. So with this, I hand over back to Sergeant at Arm of our club, Toastmaster Harish, to officially announce the closure of meeting. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lokesh. So throughout the meeting, many people called it a day, but they don't know. It is me who can officially call it a day. The meeting is officially ended. Thank you very much. And you can wait for networking and speak with the
Rahul literally switched off his light.
Yes, any guest who are looking for